I like the stretching. Pre-game stretches.
You know. Lumbar, get that lumbar properly done.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to This Week in MLS, presented by Target. You guys, it's a big day. In studio, Mr. Bobby Warshaw, pinch hitting for Kalen Carr. Thank you so much for doing this.
I'm so happy to be here. This is all I've wanted since joining the staff.
That makes me so happy to hear. We're gonna have some fun today. Okay. This is a fun show.
Okay.
We're gonna do it right. I won't steer you wrong. Okay, so we're gonna kick off the show by addressing one of our commenters, our YouTube commenters, who said Joey's trick shots. Hello, Joey's trick shots. He says the Revs deserve more attention. They're in fourth in the East with a bye week. Well, this was previously. So we're going to give the Revs some love today. How about that? Because they deserve it. You guys are coming off a 4-0 win over Montreal. They are now third in the East, Joey's trick shot. So there you go. They seem to have kind of found their footing under Brad Friedel a little bit. I said last week that they were a dark horse team for me. In the East, they've put together a string of really positive results. They're getting good games from guys like Diego Fagundes. We talked about Christian Penilla last week, who had a wonderful game. I have to give a shout out to Andrew Farrell, who scored his first MLS goal after 6 seasons in the league. There's a lot to be excited about for Revs fans, Bobby.
Well, the thing about the Revs and why we didn't talk about them is they just dug themselves a really deep hole.
Yeah.
They're getting out of the hole, but you have to get out of that hole before we talk about you. But they've been good this year. Brad Friedel, his 4 biggest paid most known players, Lee Nguyen, Christian Nemeth, Kellen Rowe, Juan Agudelo, not playing, and Brad Friedel getting the job done.
Getting it done.
So good for the Revs doing it their way, getting the points. Yeah, I'm willing to talk about the Revs now. But
all right.
I mean, it's a tight precipice. They might fall off pretty soon. But you got to give them credit right now.
Also, you just blew my mind by using the word precipice.
I do it. It's like my favorite word.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is solid. We're going to give you +1 there. Nicely done, Bobby Warshaw. Okay, so now we are
Take that, Kalen.
I like that. That's good. Dig that in there. We're going to move on to our twin takeaways. So this is kind of our general takeaway from the weekend of soccer that was. So I'm going to let you go first as our guest.
I really like Philadelphia Union still.
Really?
I know that they've dropped points the last 2 weeks. They only tied San Jose this week, even though they're in Chester. But I just like watching them play. They look like a good soccer team to me. And their biggest problem is they don't know how to score goals, which is a problem in the sport of soccer.
Yes.
But just when you watch them through the run of play, they look good. They look like they're close.
What we talked about on Matchday Central, they crossing, and they don't really have a plan B. Their whole offensive attack is about their crossing. How do they address that? How do you find a plan B?
I would say if crossing is your plan A, then you have no plan A.
Okay.
But yeah, they just need to focus on that last part. A lot of people think that play in the final third or that final finishing act is creative or it's something you make up on the spot. But no, it's very rigid.
Yeah.
It is very patterned that this person runs near post, this person runs far post, you deliver it to a certain spot, and it's clearly something Philadelphia hasn't worked on.
All right. I like that. That's good because we have a lot of commenters who say we don't give the Union love. So thank you for addressing that, Bobby.
We're just giving out lots of love.
I know,
today.
exactly. It's what this show is all about. Okay, so time for my takeaway. I actually have 2 this week because I'm greedy and I just couldn't decide which one I wanted to go with. I couldn't commit. That's kind of my mojo. So my first one, I'm going to go with Sporting Kansas City, who's coming off a 2-0 win over the LA Galaxy, who were, of course, buzzing after their big win against LAFC. This game was at StubHub Center. The Galaxy never really kind of looked like they were going to get anything going. Sporting Kansas City, though, on the other hand, this is a team, they had been kind of leaky in the back. We were sort of seeing this defense and not the stalwart defense that we're used to seeing from them. They were scoring a lot of goals, but defensively it didn't look like it was coming together. It was a totally different story on Sunday. They get the shutout. Tim Melia had 10 saves, which was a club record. They just looked really solid, Bobby. I feel like they're kind of figuring it out now.
I just want to say, I felt good about the word precipice until you brought out leaky.
I said leaky.
That was good.
Is that a good one?
That's a good match right there.
Thanks, Bobby.
But yeah, we were all stressed about Kansas City. We were all stressed about their defense, and Peter Vermees wasn't, and he was right. And the biggest thing is they've cut out the individual mistakes.
Yep.
Most of what they were doing was really good, and then the ball would bounce in the box. KC would miss it. Somebody else would score. They cut those out. Here they are back being a good defense again.
Yeah, they're right at the top of the Western Conference standings. So there you go. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to Johnny Russell, who had a really nice goal.
He's good.
He's really
good at soccer.
He juked 3 defenders and just buried it. Also, it was his birthday, so There you go. I know, look at that. I'm full of useless information. Okay, my second takeaway. I'm going to talk about Orlando. So Orlando, this is the second week in a row that they've come from behind to get a win. They win 3-2 over Portland, and this is another team, Bobby, that we were kind of worried about. We had a lot of expectations for them heading into this season, especially with all the offseason moves that we saw them make. Firepower with guys like Justin Miram and Josue Coleman and all of those guys. It finally seems to have come together. Dom Dwyer is healthy. They've got everyone back. Dom Dwyer put the game winner in at the end of the game yesterday. I mean, I feel like they're kind of riding the ship here, and I'm very excited for them. They're now above that playoff line.
First of all, that was a wild game. For the most part, it wasn't the most exciting weekend, and then here comes Orlando saying, hey, we got you. We got you, MLS. Am I less concerned about Orlando? I can't say no because they didn't play well. For 80 minutes, they were down 2-0.
That's true.
I mean, they were very close to having a really bad loss to a Portland team that people need to beat. But maybe at the same time, but all of their points now have come from epic late comebacks.
Yes, which builds character.
That's exactly right. And maybe right now, that's more important than playing good soccer.
I think it's also worth mentioning that, you know, because they were dealing with so many injuries and guys not playing, like they hadn't really come together. The cohesion wasn't there. And now it seems like they're getting used to playing with each other. And I think when you come back, when you're able to come back from behind like that, I do think that that's a team building exercise right there.
I'm with you. Team spirit goes a long way.
Yeah, from a former player. Put that in your pocket. Okay, so over the weekend, it was the inaugural eMLS Cup at PAX East up in Boston. So this is where all the gamers were. It was like this crazy FIFA tournament. How's your FIFA game?
You know, it's better than Keel's. I'll say that. Steven, I've been watching.
I love it. Well, speaking of Keel, he was nice enough to put together a little package for us to give us a sense of what things were like up in Boston. Here it is.
Thanks, Susannah. I miss you guys. That couch looks so comfy and those pillows are great. I'm here at PAX East for the inaugural eMLS Cup presented by PlayStation. We're going to chat with a few of the guys, which was awesome. Let's see how it all played out. We're joined by New York Red Bulls, Mike LaBelle. Mike, you seem very animated. You feel warm.
It's the energy, man. It's the energy.
Talk about what it's like to play here in this environment as opposed to maybe where you would be normal play at home.
Yeah, so like I said, the lights are pretty bright, so adapting your eyes to the screen and really honing in on that screen is pretty tough.
Go talk to anybody. Everyone's eyes got that look like, oh man, you've been looking at the screen hardcore. You're not blinking. People getting mad at the lights and the cameras and the pictures, you name it. Anything that could interrupt what's going on.
But when I'm at home, I got 2 kids running around screaming, and as soon as one kid screams, the dog's going nuts, man. You got to really try and block it out. So this is probably a better environment for me.
If you were to build your own card, what would your numbers be?
Are we being realistic?
It's your card.
It's my card. I give myself a strong 72 with 95 strength.
0-star weak foot.
3-star.
Ooh, let's go.
Skill moves, 2-star.
And about 67 pace.
About a 78, but like an 81 sprint speed.
And about 90 physical for the belly.
That's it, man. You're 99 in my book. Well, let's get this guy some sleep. Or maybe another Red Bull or 3.
Thanks for having me, yeah.
He's a man to man.
Let's
go.
What a guy that Stephen Keel is. He looked like he had some fun up there. I know, we love him.
He's just dreamy. That's the only word I think of when I see Keel.
He's totally dreamy. Also, happy birthday, Stephen Keel. It's his birthday, so we gotta give him some love. Also, shout out to Kid Mamito from Houston, who ended up taking home the first ever eMLS Cup. Bravo, that guy was ridiculous. Apparently he was just like shutting everybody down.
Break down his game. You got to watch a little bit. Tell me about his performance.
The thing that impressed me the most was just
a lot of this. He was really, and then sometimes he would go like this, and he was like really good at that.
Get, like the shoulders involved, you know, that kind of thing.
Just
he looked the part.
Good defensive structure, good in the attack.
Hard-hitting analysis over here.
His team clearly had team spirit, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a new segment of the show that we're doing this year. Also happens to be my favorite thing ever. We're going to talk about some soccer hair. It is time for Flow Show. And the first guy that we are going to give a shout out to, Mr. Josef Martinez of Atlanta United, who is rocking the silver locks, Bobby. What do you think of this?
I think silver is in right now.
It is, right? It's having
like
a moment.
the new trendy haircut.
Totally having a moment. I think you could pull it off, actually.
I might. You don't know.
You know, if you scored 24 goals in 25 games, which is an MLS record, by the way, Thank you. See how I threw that in? And then I think you can pull off anything, really,
Yeah, that's
right?
exactly right. I want to know, what would you do if you were a professional MLS player?
Oh, I think
would you go
I
with?
think I'd go back to like the mullet. You know?
Mullet? Oh, yeah.
Like the early 90s
Yep.
mullets, like just like real shaggy
Would you
in the
do the
back.
silver mullet?
I totally would rock a silver mullet.
yeah.
Absolutely.
You'd look great.
I think I could pull it off for sure. Yay, and shout out to Atlanta United, 5-0 win against LAFC. Way to go. Okay, next up on Flow Show. This is kind of like a low-key one, but I feel like it deserves some love. Drew Connor of Chicago Fire is bringing back the little headband look, which I'm super into. He's letting his locks flow, and he's got the little headband kind of tying it back. I'm into it. I feel like we haven't seen this look in a while, Bobby.
This is my favorite soccer look.
Yes!
Something that I don't admit often is that I always wish that I could do this. I think this
You
looks,
never did it?
I think, well, like I have like kind of curly and it just like, it doesn't flow like
Graham
that.
Zusi does it. He's got the curls.
Yeah, but he's got like flowing curls. I've got, you know, like, but I always wanted to do this. I think this looks good.
I like it. Drew Connor, well done. Also, yay, Chicago picking up your first win of the season. Big 1-0 win over Columbus. Good on you. Okay, and lastly, on Flow Show, this one,
What do you say?
I'm sort of speechless. Alex Wheel, you guys, rocking the cornrows, the braids right up top.
No, tell me how long would that take?
I mean, that's a lot of effort because I know how long it takes to like French braid hair. It's a process.
An hour?
Yeah, at least. Unless he's got like some buddy that's doing it for him. Maybe that's the key. Has a little.
Well, of course he has somebody doing it for him, right? He's not doing that himself.
He might be doing it himself. We should find out.
That's the kind of info we need around here.
This is the type of investigative journalism I'm investing in. Okay, Bobby, see that button right there?
I see that button.
I want you to hit that button.
Okay.
Give it all you got.
Is the clown gonna come out?
I don't like clowns. They scare me. Oh, it's even better. It's Simon Borg. Simon Borg. Okay, we're seeing the Did You See That for the first time, so we're just reacting along with everybody else. So producer Pauly, put it up there. What do we have? Oh my goodness. Okay, this is from Daniel Shalhoub as a little guy posing with Ibra. No way.
You know what's funny?
That's
is
pretty
that
cool.
Shalhoub in the first part is like, oh my God, Ibra. And then he throws a little shade and he's like, oh, by the way,
P.S.
in the games we've played, I have a goal and you don't.
Exactly. Oh,
I appreciate that.
I respect that. Oh my gosh. Also, like, look how young Zlatan looks. And tan.
And tan.
This must have been his Euro days when he was just like beaching it all the time. He'll get back there. He's in LA now. He'll be fine.
You would know all about that.
I love that.
You would know all about that, wouldn't you?
I would, Bobby. I would. Another trip to LA coming up. I'm pretty darn excited about it. That's it. That's this week in MLS. You did it. How did it feel for your first go around?
Exhilarating. This is awesome.
I love it. Thank you so much for hanging today.
Yeah, thank you for
This
having
was so
me.
much fun. You guys, thank you for watching. Get in those comments. Let us know what you think about what we had to say, what you want us to talk about, because I get in there. I really, really do, I swear. I know some of you don't believe that it's me, but it is actually me commenting. Bobby can vouch for me, I swear. You guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week.